IP addressing. First, before starting the IP addressing, we should know about the basic number systems. So, use of digital technique started in 1940, military applications, and digital computer was developed in 1960. Now, due to the development of semiconductor devices, digital computer started becoming small in size, and digital technique is used in all areas of consumer electronic products, communication systems, and industrial controls. So digital techniques has many advantages over analog systems, such as reduce the cost and improves the performance. Now, there are two basic types of electronic signals known as analog and digital. So previously, analog systems or analog signals were there. Analog signals are the most familiar type, and it is AC or DC voltage that varies continuously. Remember, it varies continuously. It does not change abruptly or suddenly or in steps. So most commonly used analog signals in the sine wave, as you know, radio signals and audio tones are sinusoidal waves. Electronic circuits which process the analog signals are known as linear circuits, and as you can see in this image, so it does not change directly abruptly, it continuously changes up down up down. Now digital signals are a series of pulses, and these signals are voltage which varies fast between two fixed levels. So it goes like a fixed level up and down, as you can see in the image. So all the digital devices works on these digital signals or digital things, and digital, that means you can see it goes up or down. Now up or down, that means when it goes down it is considered as 0, and when it goes up it considered as 1. So 0 and 1, that means on and off. We can say it is considered as on and off. So these digital registers, they may have signal, they may have power or they may not have power. So when they have power, that means they are the bits, the signal, this thing is on. When they have a power, that means it is considered a bit is on, and when they don't have a power, that means it is considered as a off bits. So on bit and off bit. So this is why it is what digital signals. Now when you talk about the number systems, so number system is nothing more than a code. For each distinct quantity, there is an assigned symbol. Number system is a representation of numbers such as decimal, binary and hexadecimal. When you talk about decimal, this is the base or radius of a number system, refers to the number of digit used. In decimal system, 10 is used as base or radius because digit from 0 to 9 are used. So total numbers are 10, 0 to 9. Each digit in the number has certain position, and that position determines its weight. Position weights are from right to left unit, tens, hundreds and thousands. So as you can see here in this image, if I say 1993, so this can be represented as thousands, hundreds, tens and 1 unit. So if you can divide this, so 1 is the 1000 unit, 9 is 100th unit, 9 is the 10th unit, and 3 is the 3 unit. So that means 1 means it is actually 1000. We can also say 10 raised to 3, 1x 10 raised to 3, or 9 means it is actually 900. That is, we can say 9 raised to 2, 9 by 10 raised to 2. Then 9, this 9, we can say it is also 90. That means 9x 10, and we can say 3 is a simple unit. This is 3 multiplied by 1, and that is what 193. So basically in decimal, and in all our schooling life we learn decimal first. So we are very familiar with this number system, that is decimal. But there is other number system, that is binary. And in the binary system, the base is 2 and only two numbers 0 and 1 are used. In binary system, only two signals levels are needed and group of 4 bits makes a nibble. Example like 1111, 1100, 1110, a string of 8 bits make a byte. Example, this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, these are all 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. A byte is a basic unit of data in computers. Most computer process data in strings of 8 bits or 16 or 32 or 24 and so on. So when you talk about bits, so bit is the smallest part of the memory in digital system. The smallest part of the memory is 1 bit. When you combine 4 bits, it is called 1 nibble. Then when you combine 8 bits, then it calls 1 byte. And when you combine 1024 bytes, then it will call 1 kilobytes, that is KB. And when we combine 1024 kilobytes, then it is called 1 megabyte, that is 1 MB. And when we combine 1024 megabytes, it is called 1 gigabyte, that is 1 GB. And then it is goes on, like 1024 gigabyte will become 1 terabyte, then 1024 terabyte becomes 1 petabyte, hexabyte. So it goes on like this, but the smallest part of the memory is 1 bit. That means in one digital register there is only 1 bit. So when you represent this register, that means when it is having a power, that means there is a 1 bit on, and when you don't have a power, that is 1 bit off. So every register, they can be on or off, and we represent that, and it can consist of 1 bit memory, and we represent that with the binary language, binary number system. In binary number system, when we have a bit on, so we represent it as 1, and when the bit is off, when there is no power in the register, we represent it as a 0. So this binary language is used, these binary numbers, the binary numbering system are used to represent the digital bits. So very simple. In digital devices, they works on digital language, and digital means simple. The registers are there. A register has a power of one, has a power or not have a power. Each register represent 1 bit, and 1 bit when it has a power, it is called off or on bit. When it is not have a power, it is called off bit. So on bit is represented as a binary number 1, and off bits are represented as a binary number 0. Now binary numbers, we don't know about it till we reach to the college, because in the schooling days we know the decimal numbers. Then after that we know that okay, there is binary numbers are also there. But there is one more numbering system, that is called hexadecimal. Now this hexadecimal is having 16 numbers. These hexadecimal numbers are extensively used in microprocessor work. And to begin with, they are much shorter than binary numbers. Hexadecimal means 16, and the hexadecimal number system has a base or radius of 16, and this means that it uses 16 digits to represent all numbers. The digits are 0 through 9, and then after the 9, A through F as follows, like 0, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Then after 9 it comes A, B, C, D, E, F. These hexadecimal numbers are strings of these digits like A, 8, A, 5 or 4, C, F, 7 and E, C, 5, 8, like this. As you can see in this image, hexadecimals are like 0 to F, this is 16 digit. We can represent that, we can convert these all 16 digit into binary 4 bits. Within the 4 bits we can convert all these digits. Now remember, all these binary also have a decimal value and also hexadecimal value. That means these bits, these binary numbers or these bits are having the binary or decimal or hexadecimal representation. That means the first bit value is, if first bit, all the bit is 0, that means there is no power, then no hexadecimal number will be 0 also, and decimal will be also 0. Now when I talk about binary, that means I am talking about the digital register. So when all the bits of the register is off, then we can consider that 0 in hexadecimal, 0 in binary and 0 in decimal. Now if the first bit is on in the register, in the binary number 1, we can say the binary number 1, that means what? The first bit is on in the digital register, in the digital device and digital register. If the first bit is on, that means we are having binary number 1. So when we have binary number 1, that means first bit is on. So in first bit, that means we have hexadecimal number 1 and decimal number 1 also. Let me show you first the table for this. Now you can see here, these are the bits of digital, these are digital bits, and by the position they have a value. So by the position from the left to right side, to left side, they have a value for that. And how we'll get the value? We get the value by raising the bit, the position of the bit by number 2. Number 2, why? Because the bits can be on or off. That means they can be only 2 positions, whether the bits are on or off. So now when we talk about the bits, now they can be off or they can be on. So by the position we can get the value for that bit. So for getting the value, we can say we want to get the value, that means how much number we can put into that bit. So in first position of the bit, that is, we can say bit 0. So we raise 2 to 0, and what value we get? 1. That means in the first bit we can put the decimal value 1. Then when we go to the second position, that means 1. After 0 it is 1. So we raise that position also by 2. So 2 raised to 1 is becomes 2. That means in the second position of the bit, in memory we can put 2 numbers. Then we goes on like this. By the position the values will goes like this. 2 raised to 2 becomes 4. Then 2 raised to 3 becomes 8. Then 16. Then 32. Then 64. Then 128, and then so on. After 128, we go to 2 raised to 8, that will become 256. Then 2 raised to 9 becomes 512. Then 2 raised to 10 will become 1024. It is goes on like this. So by the position of the bit, we can say their decimal values are different. So when you have this bit, that means in this bit you can have one number. When you have this bit, that means when the bit is on, that means you get the number. When the bit is off, you will not get any number. It will be 0, because when there is no bit, there is no power, there is no register, the register does not have any power, that means no memory. So no memory means 0. So when the bits are 0, the value will be 0, decimal value. Then this is what we can say the decimal version or decimal value of these bits. Now go back to that image. So here you can see these binaries are only representing these numbers. Like when you see this bit, So when all the bits are 0, then what? We get 0, no value. And bits are represented by the binary. So binary is representing those bits. Now first position of the bit when it get on, that means the bit is on, first bit. So we get the value number 1 because it is what? 2 raised to 0, the first position. Then second bit is on, so we get the value 2. Now we are getting the value both in decimal and hexadecimal, we are getting the same values. So in hexadecimal also or in the decimal also we get the value 2. So when in decimal we say number 2, then we can represent it in binary, we can represent it as second bit on. Then when the first 2 bits are get on, that means we get number 3. First 2 bits are on, that means this first bit value is 1 and the second bit value is 2. When you enable both of the bits, that means you combine those value 2 plus 1 and it becomes what? 3. Then this third bit is on, that means 2 raised to 2 and that is 4. You get decimal value also 4, you get hexadecimal value also 4. When you get this third and first bit on, that means first bit value is 1, third bit value is 4, so you get plus 4 plus 1, you get 5 both in hexadecimal and decimal. Then when this 4 and 2 bit is on, you get 6. Then 7 means all the first 3 bits are on, that means 4 plus 2 plus 1. The fourth bit is 8. So if you see this bit is on, that means you are getting hexadecimal and decimal value 8. When you get this fourth one and the first one on, that means 4 plus 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. So you will get decimal and hexadecimal number 9. Then A means in A is hexadecimal A. Now hexadecimal A means what? 8 plus 2, that is 10. So in decimal we'll represent it as a 10. So we can also say, if you want to convert this hexadecimal to decimal, that means we can say A means what? 10 and 10 means what? A. Till 0 to 9 both are same, but after the 9 they will change, because after the 9 the decimal numbers will start again, but in hexadecimal it will continue to goes on like A, B, C, D, E and F. So A means what? It is 10. So in binary you can say, in bits you can say that the fourth bit and the second bit is on. B means what? 11. That means this 8 bit, the fourth bit and first 2 bits are on. So 8 plus 2 plus 1. Then 12 means what? This C means 12. 12 means 8 plus 4. That means fourth and third bit is on. Then D means 13. That means fourth, third and first bit is on. That means 8 plus 4 plus 1. E means what? 14. That means this fourth, third and second bit is on. That means 8 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. Then F means what? In decimal it is 16. In decimal it is 14, but the position of the number is 16. So you can see here 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. So all the 4 bits are on. So we can represent this hexadecimal into these 4 bits. So for representing the hexadecimal we required 4 bits, and for representing the decimal value also we required 4 bits, because this fourth bit is also on, so it is including. But for hexadecimal it goes up to maximum 4 bits. So this is what these 3 numbering system. Binary number system does not have, it has only 2 numbers, and it is only for representing this digital values like digital bits, whether the bit is on or off. So 0 means on, off, 0 means off and 1 means on. And when the bit gets on, it gets a value in decimal and hexadecimal. So we can say that bit 1, that means the value is 1, and the second bit value is 2, third bit value is 4, fourth bit value is 8, and by combining these bits we can get these decimal values and hexadecimal values. So when you say that we can when you say how we can convert hexadecimal to binary, or binary to decimal, or decimal to binary, or hexadecimal to binary. So we can see this table and we can easily convert it. We can easily convert hexadecimal to binary and binary to decimal, or we can say decimal to binary or binary to hexadecimal. So it is very easy to say that we can convert easily. Only we have to know the bit position, and by the bit position we should know the value of those bits. So by just combining those bits we can get decimal or hexadecimal numbers. So by knowing these numbering systems we can get into the IP addresses. Now IP addresses means what? First, IP protocol. This the internet protocol. It is IP means internet protocol. This is the principal communication protocol in the internet protocol suite for relaying datagram across network boundaries, and its routing function enables internetworking and essentially establishes the internet. It establishes the internet. IP has the task of delivering packets from the source host to the destination host solely based on the IP addresses in the packet headers. For this purpose, the IP defines a packet structure that encapsulates the data to be delivered. It also defines addressing methods that are used to label the datagram with source and destination information. So basically IP is a protocol, and protocol means what? It's a set of rules. So it has some set of rules to define the delivery of the packet from source to destination. How the packet will deliver from the source to destination, and it can do by using the network network addresses. The addresses also defined by this IP protocol. So IP protocol define the network addresses, and by using those addresses encapsulated into the packet header, it can deliver the packet from source to destination across the datagram, across the network boundaries. That means one network boundary to other network boundary. That means we can say it is from one segment of the network to other segment of the network, and all over the internet. So basically the internet is established on this internet protocol, because delivering the packet from one source to destination from anywhere to anywhere based on this network addresses is the job of this internet protocol. So it is the job of internet protocol, and it provides the numbering system also. So it provides the numbering system to label each source and destination, and that is called IP addressing. So an IP address is a numeric identifier assigned to each machine on an IP network, and it designates the specific location of a device on the network. An IP address is a software logical address. This is logical address, remember, not a hardware physical address. The letter is hard coded on a network interface card. That means the MAC address. MAC address is actually the hardware address and used for finding host on a local network. So physical address, which is also we can say MAC addresses, are hard coded into the network interface card, and that is only work on the local network to find the host. But IP addresses were designed to allow host on one network to communicate with the host on a different network, regardless of the type of LANs the hosts are participating in. So we can say that the MAC address, the physical addresses are the room numbers in a building. So if you want to go from one room to other room, so you will go by the room number, but the building number will be same. But if you want to go to other building in other area, in other city, in other country, then you have to go by the network address, this IP addresses. So IP addresses do what? It will take you to one building to other building. So building number, we can say the building number and the area name of the area, name of the city, name of the country, name of the region is what considered in IP addresses. And the physical addresses are like within the building, the room numbers. So IP addresses can take you from one city, one country, one region to other region, other city, other area and the other building of that area, and then after that the MAC address job is to put you or take you to the particular room. This is how the communication done in internet. It is just an example. Then before going into IP addressing, we should know the IP terminologies. So some of the terminologies of the IP addresses we should know is like these first is a bit. So bit is one digit, either 1 or a 0. So bit is what, either 1 or 0, and it is represented by the binary 0 and 1. And byte means what? A byte is a 8-bit it is combined of 8 bit. So when you combine the 8 bits, remember 4 bits are also combined and it is called nibble, but nowadays we don't use this terminology, we don't use this nibble, always we use this bytes. So because 8 by 8 bit is equal to 1 byte. So when you have 8 bits combined, then we call it as a byte. Then one more thing is there, octet. An octet made up of 8 bit is just an ordinary 8 bits binary number. Now octet is also a numbering system which consists of 8 numbers, 0 to 7, and 0 to 7 means only 8 numbers. It is also called, and this octet is actually representing 8 bits. So it's just ordinary 8-bit binary numbers. Broadcast addresses. The addresses used by application and host to send information to all nodes on a network is called the broadcast addresses. Now remember, when we talk about the IP protocol, so we have 3 types of communication in IP protocol. Let me get into that first. So in IP protocol we have 3 types of communication. First is unicast. Now unicast means one-to-one communication. That means one device will directly communicate to other device, and this type of communication is called unicast. Then we have the second type of communication, that is called multicast. Now multicast means what? Means one to many. That means one machine, one device can communicate with multiple devices at the same time. Now when you have multiple devices, so it is doing the communication with multiple devices. Now multiple, one to multiple, that means it could be multiple. That means this device is communicating with all these devices. But remember, I have not selected all. That means it is not doing communication with all the devices. It is doing the communication with some selected devices within the group. So we can say it is some kind of group which is where the communication is happening. So from one to many, but not all. But the third communication type is what? The broadcast. Now broadcast means what? One to all. One to all. That means one device to all the other devices. So it will do the communication from one to all the devices. This kind of communication is mostly it is what? One-way communication, because the other devices will not reply. It is just a broadcast to everyone. It is like we have heard about the radio broadcast, television broadcast. We can't reply to radio, we can't reply to television. So they are just broadcasting to everyone. But in multicast or unicast, it can get the reply from that group of people or group of devices or single device. So we have 3 types of communication. Unicast is one to one, multicast is one to many but not all, and broadcast means one to all. So the broadcast addresses, that means the addresses used by application and host to send information to all nodes on a network is called the broadcast addresses. So there are some IP addresses which is used to do the broadcast communication. So it will do the communication with all the devices in the network, or we can say all the nodes in the network. Now in a network we don't call devices, mostly we call it nodes. And the node which get a unique IP address, it is called the host, which is getting the IP address. So we can say it is the host address. We can also say that is host address. Now next is the syntax of IP address. So when we try to write the IP address, so what is the syntax of IP address? Now first, this IP address is have a version. This protocol is have a version. What we are using is IP version 4. It is called IPv4. We don't know about IP version 1, 2 and 3. They are under development. They have not released it. And the organization who is working on this and they are releasing this, it is called IANA. IANA, that means IANA. That is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. So they are doing this, they are doing the research, they are doing this, and they have released this version 4. So now we have what version 4 directly. We don't know about version 1, 2 and 3. So what is the version? The version which we are using right now is IP version 4. But the version 6 has already come. Not version 5, but version 6 have already come. And also we are using version 6 also. But the version which we are talking about right now is version 4. So if you want to provide an IPv4 addresses using binary representation, then each addresses would appear as a 32-digit string of ones and zeros. So this IP version 4 is actually 32-bit address. So when you want to represent it in binary, now why we represent it binary? Because all the digital devices, they understand only digital language, and digital language, that means zeros and ones. That means the bits are on or off, and we can only represent that by using the binary number. So when you want to represent this IP version 4 address, then you can represent it by the binaries, and you can represent by the 32-bit. That means 32 digits, because it is 32-bit address. So you have to represent it with the 32 digits of zeros and ones. And such a binary strings of zeros and 1 are very difficult to remember. Now when they designed this, they have thought about that these binary numbers to represent a 32-bit numbers is very difficult for everyone. So they are represented using dotted decimal notation. So they did what? They divide that into 4 dotted decimal. That means they have divided into 4 parts, and they have converted that binary into decimal. Because everyone knows the decimal, we learned the decimal from our school days, so we are very familiar with the decimal numbers. And binary 32-bit is very big number for us. So they did what? They divided into 4 parts of 8 bits, and represent it as a decimal. So they are represented using dotted decimal notation, in which periods are or dots are used to separate 4 decimal numbers from 0 to 255. Now 0 to 255, that means this is the decimal representation of all these 4 bits. Now all these 8 bits, remember it is divided into 8 bits. So if you can see here, known as an octet. So 4 bit, and each decimal number has 8 bits. That means 8 bit is equal to 1 octet. So known as an octet represented by 8 bits. That is 1 byte also. Remember, when you combine 8 bit, it can also be called as a 1 byte of 32-bit address. So we can say it is divided by 4 bits, divided in the part of 4 bits, 8 bits, 4 parts of 8 bits. Now 8 bit, we can also say it is 1 octet, or we can also say it is 1 byte. So in 32-bit address, it is divided into 4 parts. Each part has 8 bit, or we can say 1 byte. So in binary of IP version 4, we can say it is like this. You can see it is the string of 32 digits of binary number, and it is not divided by dot. But if you divide it by dot, so you have to divide it into 4 parts of 8 bits, and is represented in dotted decimal as this, like this. So when you convert this binary into decimal, you will get this number. And to convert an IP address from binary notation to dotted decimal notation, you segment it into first 8-bit blocks. So if this is the single 32-bit string, so first you have to divide it into 4 blocks of 8 bits. So like this, we have divided into 4 blocks. Then convert each block to decimal. Now remember, you will not convert the whole 32-bit in single. You will convert separate 8-bit block into decimal. So as you see in the first block, 8-bit block, you see this first bit is on, and we know that first bit value is 1. So the first block here is saying what? It is 1. Then in the second block, all the 8 bits are 0. So we consider it as a 0. Then in the third block, we have these bits are on. Now what these bits are? So when you see this, so first bit value is 1, then 2, then 4, then 8. So 8 bit is on, so we plus 8, then 16, 8, after 8 it is 16, 16 is not used, then 32 is used, so 8 plus 32, so it will become 40. Then 64 is not used, then 128 is used. So this is 128 plus 32 plus 8, and it is 168. And then when you go for the last part, you will see that these all bits are off. So we know that these bits value is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and 128. So only these 2 bits are on. So these 2 bits values are 128 and 64. So when you combine this 128 and 64, you get what? 192. So when you want to combine this, convert this 32 digit string of binary into decimal, so you get this 192 first part, 168 second part, then 0, then 1. Now we divide them by using dot. So separate the blocks with periods, and periods are dot. So after 192 dot, 168 dot, then it should be 0 dot, then some other number. So it is like 192.168.3.24. Now each block has number, each block has 8 bits, and it is represented by the decimal value. Now how much numbers you can get in each block? We have 4 blocks, so how much decimal numbers we can get in each block based on the 8 bits? So we can see here that each bit has a value. So if suppose all the bits are off, like all the bits are off, this bit is off, this bit is off, this bit is off, and this bit is off, this bit is off, and all these bits are off, then what the value you will get? You will get 0. That means all the bits are off. This is the 8 bit of your first part, or every part we can say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is the value of all those bits in decimal. So when all the bits are off, you will not get any value, and no value of decimal, then you will get what? You will get 0. So your numbers will start from 0. In every part your number will start from 0. Then it will go up to what? It will go up to when all the bits are on. Remember, it will on like first bit will on, then you will get 1, then second bit will on, then you will get 2, then first 2 bit will get on, you will get 3, then fourth bit will get on, you will get 4, then the fourth and this first one get on, you will get 5, then this 2 gets on, you will get 6, then you will get 7 when these all 3 get on, then you will get 8 when this get on. So it will goes on like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now it will go up to when all these bits are on, this bit is 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 on, and all these bits are on, that means you will combine all these values together and you will get 255. So what you will get, in every part of IP address, IPv4 address, you will get number from 0 to 255. That means when the first part all bits off, you get 0, then dot, then second part all bits are off, again you will get 0, then third 0, then dot 0. So IPv4 address will start from 0.0.0.0. This is the first address you will get. Then it can go up to that means 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it can get up to when all the bits are on in every part. So you will get up to 255 when all the bits are on. Then when this part all bits are on, then you will get what, 255. Then when this bit gets on, then you will get 255. Then when this bit gets on, you will get 255. That means in IPv4 we will get the numbers from 0.0.0 to 255.255.255.255. Now how many numbers we are getting, that means how many IP addresses we are getting. Remember these addresses, that means each address can be assigned to each host. That means we can use these numbers to give to any host or any node. That means the number of IPs, that means number of hosts, number of nodes we can use. So how many numbers of IPs we can have in this IPv4? So you know, for doing that you will have to raise the position of the number of the position of the bit to 2. So we are having 32 bits. So when you raise the 2 to 32, you will get the total number of IPs you will get in IP version 4. And that number is 2 raised to 32, and that number is this. So this number of IPs we are getting, IP addresses we are getting in IP version 4. It looks too much, it looks too much, and it looks like it is a lot of numbers we have, but actually it is finished. Actually we have finished all the IPv4 addresses, almost all IPv4 addresses, and that is why we get a requirement for the new type of addresses, and that is why we get IP version 6. So now we get IP version 6 because these all addresses are finished. So in this also it is also finished, and it is having also some other problems. That is because we are having this IPv6 now, IP version 6, and in IP version 6 we have actually the number of addresses that could not be finished in near future. It is lots of addresses we have in IPv6. So this is what IPv6 addresses total we have, and this is from 0.0.0 to 255.255.255 we have. So as we know, all these 32 bit are divided into 4 parts of 8 bits. This 8 bit we can also call it byte or octet, and the conversion we can say it is like this. So when you want to convert the total 32 bits, so first you divide them into 4 parts of 8 bits, then convert each part separately, and then divide them by using dot. So we are having the addresses from 0.0.0 to 255.255.255. Now, what INA has done, it has divided these all addresses into classes. So it has divided these all addresses into different classes. So the classes are A, B, C, D and E. That is, the developers of the internet plan to create classes of network as per their network size, and the classes of networks are these A, B, C, D and E. Now they divide this based on the size of the network. Based on the size of the network, that means they have think like they, when they make this IPv4, they believe like we have lots of addresses and it is never going to be finished, and we never ever required any other addresses. But actually internet grows very fast and very vast, and the addresses are now finished, because every devices, we have lots of devices which used to connect the internet, which used to connect the network. Now even our watches are smart, and when you have a smartwatch, that means it needs to connect the network, and it wants to get the what, a unique address, that is what, IP address. So we have lots of smart devices now, and every device needs to have a unique address. So because of that, the addresses are finishing very fast, and it is almost finished. So that is why we required this IPv6. Now when they design it, they divide it into class B based on the network size. Based on the network size, that means they feel like some companies are very big, they need large size of network, so they need more IP addresses. Then some companies will be not that big but not that small also, middle sized companies, so they will not need much IP addresses, but they need enough addresses. So they make a class for them. Then they made a class for the addresses for the companies which requires a certain amount of very less amount of network addresses. So they made the class for them. So A class, A is for the big network, B class is for the middle size network, and C class is for the small type of network. Then we have D and E. Now D and E we don't use. D and E is not used for commercial. Only commercially we can use A, B and C. D we don't use. D and E we don't use. Then for doing this, for dividing them based on the size, they made these networks, they made these addresses, these classes, and they made these classes into two parts. So when you talk about the classes of addresses, it is divided into two parts. It is network ID and host ID. So when the IP addresses we have, so these all IP addresses from 0.0.0 to 255.255.255, it is divided into classes based on these two, we can say separation of two, that is network ID and host ID. So when you have first 8 bit as a network ID, and rest of the 3 parts, it is for host ID, that means it is class A. So how they divide it? They make class A, and in class A they did what? They keep the first part of the 8 bits as a network ID, and the rest of the 3 part of the 8 bits as a host ID. Now what is the difference between network ID and host ID? So very simple, the rule for the IP is like, when your two machines are having the same network ID, they can do communication to each other. When you have two machines with different network IDs, that two machines will not be able to do the communication. So very simple rule for the IP is that if you have two machines which has same network ID, they can do the communication, but when they have different network ID, then they cannot do the communication. Now remember, host ID can be any. If suppose two machines are having the same network ID but the host ID is different, that is okay. they can still do the communication. But when the two machines are there with a different network ID, so they cannot do the communication to each other. So very simple, when the network ID is same within 2, 3 or 100 or 200 or 1000 machines, that means they will considered as a single network. That means these all machines will be under single network. Host IDs will be differ. But when you have all the machines and they are having different network IDs, that means you have 100 machines with different network IDs and 100 machines with the different network ID. That means there are two networks there. So one network of 100 machine and then second network of 100 machines. And those all 100 machine cannot do communication with these other 100 machines. But they can do communication within their network. That means within their same network ID they can do the communication. So when you have class A addresses, so in class A addresses, first 8 bits is as a network ID and rest of the 3 part is as a host ID. So when you have class A addresses and if your first 8 bit are same, that means you can do the communication to other machine. If your first 8 bit is different, then you can't do the communication. So in class A, first 8 bit is network ID and the rest of the 3 bits are 3 part of 8 bits are host ID. Then class B, first 2 bytes like 8 and 8 bytes, 8 and 8 bits are what considered as a network ID and rest of the bits are considered as a host ID. Then class C, first 3 bytes like 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, that means total 24 bits are considered as a network ID and only 8 bit is considered as a host ID. So that is how this class A is for the big network, because in single network ID, like if your network ID is same, so how many machines you can have, how many host IDs you can have in a single network ID. So you can say by 2 raised to 888, that is 24, and it is too much. And in class B, it is middle size company, so you can say it is what reducing the host ID. Now host IDs is only 16. So you can get the host IDs, like how many hosts you can get in a single network is what 2 raised to 16, 8 and 8. And for the C class, it is small, it is for the small network. That means you can know that how many host IDs we can get in class C. So you can get 2 raised to 8. 2 raised to 8 will be the host ID in a single network. Now I said D and E is not used for commercial, so we can't use D and E. Why? Because D is for it is for multicast addresses, so it is reserved for multicast addresses. It is reserved for multicasting, and E is reserved for the future use or R&D. So this is reserved for R&D and this is what reserved for multicasting. So multicasting we don't use. Some of the applications and services have defined these addresses and they use these addresses to communicate with the same type of devices and same type of protocol or same type of services. So we don't use it manually. It is decided and it is used by some application and services and even a devices also. So we can manually use only these 3 A, B and C classes. Next is subnet mask. Now if you write an IP address, so you cannot write it without subnet mask. Subnet mask defines the IP address. This subnet mask is used to differentiate network ID and host ID from a given IP address. So when you write any IP address without subnet mask, you cannot differentiate that this is the network ID and this is the host ID. So it is differentiated by the subnet mask. So whenever we write the IPv4 address, we have to write the subnet mask also. Now the subnet mask is what? It is subdivision of a network address that can be used to represent a part of large network. A subnet mask is a 32-bit number that makes an IP address and divide the IP address into network address and host address. Now, subnet mask is also a 32-bit address, just like an IP address. Same, just like an IP address, it is also a 32-bit address and it is represented as a dotted decimal version. Same as what? IP address. This subnet mask is also divided into 4 parts of 8 bits and it is also represented as a decimal number. Now, there are some default subnet masks. Now remember, the default subnet mask, that means we can't change it. This is the default one for the specific class. So when we talk about class A and when you write any class A IP address, then the default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. Now this 255 represents that the first part is what? Network ID, and the rest 3 parts are host ID. It is represented by the 0. So when in subnet mask you see 255, that means it is representing the network part, and this 0 means what? It is representing the host part. In class B we know that first 2 part is the network part, so we can say here 255.255. so this is what? Network ID. So first 2 parts are network ID and then the host ID is represented by 0. So 0.0. This is what? The host part. In class C you have 255.255.255.0. That means first 3 part is network ID and the last part is host ID. Class D we don't use, but if you use if the applications uses or services uses with this subnet mask, where all the bits are on and 255, 255, 255, 255. E is underdeveloped because we don't use it. It is for R&D use. Now when you see the subnet mask, you see here this 255 means what? All the 8 bits are on here, and this 0 means what? All the 8 bits are off. So very simple, in subnet mask, when the bit is on, that means it is network, and when the bit is off, that means it is host. So in subnet mask the network bit is set as 1 and the host bit is set as zeros. So when you see here all the bits are on, that means it is network, and all the bits are off, that means it is host. So the subnet mask specifies the bits of the IP addresses that are for network identifier and host identifier. For a class A addresses, the default subnet mask is what? 255.0.0.0, where 255 is the network address portion whose binary form is 11111. All 8 bits are on, and 0 is the host address portion whose binary form is all zeros, that is 0.00000. So the mask of 255.0.0.0 in binary form will be like this: 1.11111.0000000.00000.000. So this mask shows that there are 8 bits in the first block, that is the network identifier bits, and remaining 24 bits are the host identifier within a given network. So 2 host addresses are reserved for special purposes and cannot be assigned to host. The 0 address is assigned to network address and 255 is assigned to a broadcast address, and they cannot be assigned to host. Now when all the bits are zeros and when all the bits are on, we can't use that addresses for any machine. Now let's see the classes first. Now remember, when we talk about classes, so you have to see the first 8 bits. You don't have to see any other bits or any other part. So if we talk about classes, okay, so when you talk about classes, so remember our IP addresses are divided into 4 parts. So when we talk about the classes, you have to only look for the first part. We are only talking about the first part. For example, suppose if someone asks you that which class IP is this, so you don't have to look for any part. You just have to look for this first part. This part number will decide that this IP address is of which class. Now remember, in this part we can have a number from 0 to 255, because every part we have numbers from 0 to 255. So in this part also we have number from 0 to 255. Now in this part, when you have a number from 0 to 127, that means it is class A. So when you see any IP which is starting from 0 or 127 or from 0 to 127, that means it is class A. Now 0 to 127, that means the IP which starts from 0 dot any number here, dot 0 dot any number here, or we can say 127 in the first part, or any number here, because we are only talking about the first part. So 0 to 127, that means 0 dot or 0 dot 0 dot 0 or 0 dot 1 dot 1 dot 0 dot 2 dot 3 dot whatever, and then after 0 it will come 1 dot, then 2 dot, then 3 dot, then 4 dot, 5 dot, 6 dot, and so on. It goes on till 125 dot, 126 dot, 127 dot. So the first part, when it goes from 0 to 127, it is considered as class A. Now in the first class, that is class A, the default subnet mask is what? 255 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. Now which means the first part is a network and all the other parts are host. Now the first part, which is also defining the class, is actually the network address here in the class A. So when the first part is set to 0 here, that means there is no bit is on, that means there is no network here, because you see the first part is network. Now when there is no network available, this address we can't use. We cannot assign this address to any of the machine, any of the device, any of the node. So this actually 0, that means if they start from 0, now whatever number is there we can't use it. Whatever number is there in this host part, in host ID, we can't use it. If it is starting from 0, we can't use it. It is reserved. We can say it is reserved for default root, or we can say all root. It is reserved for default root. Then this number which starts from 127. Now 127, after that you can have any number here in host ID. This one also we can't use. It is also reserved, and this is reserved for loopback. It is reserved for loopback. Now loopback means what? Loop means it is going round and round. So if you try to assign, if you try to use this IP to any machine, you will not able to use this IP to any machine, because any device or any operating system, they have designed to not accept this IP address, because this IP will create the loop. So if you send any data on this IP address, any of this IP address which starts from 127, it will return back to you. It will not go anywhere. It will return, it will loop back to you. It will loop back to itself. It will loop back to the machine itself. So this one is also reserved, and we can't use it. It is reserved. We can use it only for testing purpose. We can't use it for any machine or any device. So actual range of class A will start from 1, the usable range. Now remember, the range is from 0 to 127, but the usable range starts from 1, and then it can go up to 126. This is what the usable range. Now when someone asks like what is the range of class A, so you can easily say that 0 to 127. But when someone asks like what is the usable range, so we can say it is 1 to 126. Now 1 to 126, that means it will start from 1 and these all will remain 0. Now remember, this will be the first IP. This is the first IP of IPv4 class A. Now the second IP will be 1.0.0.1. Now this 1 means what? From these 8 bits, the first bit is on, so this number is 1. Then the second IP will go like this, 1.0.0.2. Then the third IP will go like 1.0.0.3, then 1.0.0.4, 1.0.0.5, 1.0.0.6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it will go up to 1.0.0.255. Now 255 means what? All the bits here in this part is on. That means we have 8 bits and all the 8 bits are on. Now we don't have any more bits to enable now. Now what will be the next address? So the next address will be like 1.0. Remember, we can't enable any bit here, so this will become 1 and this will become 0 again. It is like when you have 60 seconds done, then the second goes back to 0 and the minute will become 0 to 1, just like that. Then it will start again like 1.0.1.0. Then the next IP will 1.0.1.1, then 1.2, 1.3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then it will reach up to 1.0. Then it will reach up to again 255. Now again, what happened when it reaches again to 255? Then what happened? Again it will go back to 0 because there is no more bits are there, and then this value will become from 2 to 1, and this will remain 0 and this will remain 1. Now remember, all those IP addresses which is coming in between, they are considered into the same network because you can see the network part is same. In this IP address, this is the network part and this is the host part because it is class A. Then it goes on again, then it will again start from after 0, it will again start from 1, then it will go to 255, then it will become 3, then it will go to 255, then this will become 3, 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then one time it will become like this, when this will be on 255 and this will also be 255. Now when this will be 255 and this will be also 255, then what will be the next IP? So the next IP will be, these two will become 0 again, and this 3 number, the third part will change to 1. So this will be the next IP after this. It is like after 60 seconds minutes will change, and after 60 minutes hour will change. So this is same as here because we have limit of 255, we have 8 bits. So when 8 bits on and 8 bits on here, then next this will change, and then it will start again. That means it will start from 1.1.0.1, then 1.1.0.2, 1.1.0.3, then when it reaches to 255, then it will become 1 here, then when it reaches to 255 again, then it will become 2 here, then 255, 3, 255, 4, then when both these part will become 255, then only this will become 2. That means when again these two parts will become 255, this both part will become 255, then this number will change to 2 and these numbers will go back to 0. Then again they will start from 1 from here. Then 1 to 255, 1, 2552, 2553, 2554, 2556. Then 255, 255, this will become 3. Then 255, 255, 4. 255, 255, 6. Then one time comes when this will be on 255 and this will be also on 255 and at the same time this will reach to 255. Now what happened? This number will change to 2 and these three numbers will again go back to 0. Now we can see the first part is changing. Now changing means what? The network is changing now, because the first part in class A is the network part. So this is what considered as a separate network. So all the IP addresses, all the machines which is having the IP addresses from these to this, they can communicate to each other, and after this you can see the network is changing. So from here the next network will start of class A. So this is what class A 1 network and this is what second network, and then it will start again from 2.0.0.1, then 2.0.0.3, 4, 255, then 1, 255, 2, 255, it goes on like this. And when all these three values become 255 host IDs, then the network ID changes and it becomes 3, and that is what the third network. And it will go up to this 127. That means from 0 to 127, but this is not used, so it goes up to from 1 to 126, which is usable. Now one more rule in IPv4 is that when your host part, remember this all three is your host part. Now when the host part, all the bits are off, that means when you see the all bits are off like 000, then this address is considered as a network address. Network address for that particular network. This is network address of this first network, and then again you can see this is the second network and all the bits are 0 here of the host part. So this will consider as a network address of the second network. Now these network addresses we can't use on any machine. That means if you try to use this network address to give any machine, then the machine will not accept, the device will not accept this address. They are designed to not accept this address. It is not used. So the use address, the valid address will start from here, where the first bit is on from the host part. So when the host part all bits are 0, you can't use that address. It is considered as a network address for that particular network. Then when all the bits are on in the host address, when the host part all the bits are on, like this one, the last one, all bits are on here, here and here. So this one is considered as a broadcast address for this network. Remember, it is for only this network. For the second network you will get 2.255.255.255. So this address also we can't use for any machine or any device. It is also reserved for broadcast. This network address is also reserved, this broadcast address is also reserved for this particular network. So this network address is to define the network. Like if someone asks you that which network which IP addresses are you having, so I may not say all these IP addresses one by one. I will say only that I am having this network. I will say I have 1.0.0.0 network. So they will easily understand that I am having all these IP addresses. And if I want to broadcast some data to within the network, like when in this network only, I don't want to broadcast into any other network, I want to broadcast into only this network, then I will use this IP address, the last broadcast address, to broadcast the data, and it will go into only this network, it will not go to any other network. So this is how the IP addresses changes, and this is the class A first network and then the second network, and this is how the network changes. So how many networks we have in the class A? So we can say we are having the network of from 0 to 127. We can easily say we are having the network from 0 to 127, that means 128. Remember, we are considering 0 as a number. So 127 means adding 0 into it, it becomes 128. So we are having in class A, we are having 128 different networks. Different networks like this. And in each network we have lots of IP addresses. You can see there are lots of addresses we are having which we can use. Only we can't use this network address and this broadcast address. Rest of the all addresses we can use for any machine. So how many network addresses we have? If you want to calculate it, so the formula is this. For calculating the network address in a class, that how many network addresses we have in the class, in a particular class, the formula is 2 raised to network bits. 2 raised to network bits. Now if we go by this formula, so what is the network bit we have? We have 2 raised to, how many network bits we have? So actually we have 8 network bits. We have 8 network bits because the first part is as a network. So by this formula we can say it is 2 raised to 8. But actually when you raise 2 raised to 8, you will get 256. But we can see that we are getting only 128 networks. We are not getting 256 networks. But this formula is saying that you are getting 256 networks. Like I will show you that when you raise 2 to 8, you will get what? 256. But I am not getting 256 network. We are getting only 128 networks. So where these other networks are going? So basically when you count the network addresses in a class, so the formula is 2 raised to network bits, but from that network bits you have to minus the reserve bits. You have to subtract the reserve bit. Now what is the reserve bits? So reserve bits from all the 32 bits. Now remember, this is 32-bit address. So if you see the 32 bits, so like 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, dot, then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 till 32 bits. So what is the reserve bit? So among the 32 bits, the first bit is reserved in class A. Now first bit is reserved as 0. That means we cannot enable this bit. We have to make sure the first bit will always be 0. Now why we can't enable it? Very simple. You know the values of these bits. So if you enable this first bit, the value of this bit is 128. Now that means what? Your first part you have to write 128. That means you have to write it like 128 dot. Now when you write in the first part 128, then it will go out of the class, because our class A is going from 0 to 127. So we can't write 128 here, and that is the reason the first bit will never be on. All these bits can be on or off, but the first bit will never get on. It will always remain 0. So the first bit is reserved here. That means how many bit is reserved here in class A? So we have 1 bit reserved. So 1 bit reserved, that means I will minus this 1 bit from this 8 bit. So what we get here? We get 2 raised to 7. And when we raise 2 raised to 7, we get 128 actually. And that is the actual number of network we are getting. So when you raise 2 to 7, you get 128. And that is the actual number of networks we are getting in class A. So 128, now 0 and 127 we can't use, so from 1 to 126. So total 126 address networks we can use like this, like network 1, network 2, network 3, network 4. Now in a single network, you can see there are lots of addresses we are having in a single network. It is from this 1.0.0.1 to 1.255.255.254. These two addresses we are leaving. Or if we consider these two addresses, like we are having from 1.0.0.0 to 1.255.255.255, and you see how it changes. So it is having lots of numbers in a single network. So how many IP addresses we are having in single IP class A network? That means we can say network, we can say host per network. That means host per network. We have 128 network, and in each network how many host IPs we are having, the IPs which we can assign. So the formula says it is 2 raised to host bit. So you have to calculate 2 raised to host bit. Now host bit is our what? We have 3 parts as a host bit, and 3 part means 8, 8, 8, and total is what? 24. So the formula says in class A we have 2 raised to 24 as a host bits. So we get the value is this. In a single network we get this number of host IPs. It is 16,077,007. Oh no, it is like what? 16777216. We can use it on calculator also. So we can confirm here that 2 raised to 24 is this. Yes, it is like this. 16,777,216. But it is included with this network and broadcast. It is included with this network address and broadcast address, that which we cannot use it for any machine. So if we say what is the valid IP addresses we can have, so you have to subtract 2 IPs from here. So the valid IP addresses are like, in class A single network we have 16, 7, 77, 214. That is what the valid IPs of class A we have. So in class A we have total number of 128 networks, and within each network we have this number of IPs, and you can see it is large number of IPs. So this class is for the big network or for the big organizations.